Last year I travelled the world. I started my dream of launching a YouTube channel. I dived with sharks. I got pulled along by an excited pack of huskies. I road tripped around Sri Lanka in a tuk-tuk. But most importantly, last year was the year I finally felt alive.
So happy. I've been wanting to do that for so long.
Alright, so I'm taking you to one of my favourite spots in the area because there's something I want to talk to you about. The thing is, I quit everything to follow my dream because I learned something that changed my life forever. Let me tell you the story.
Look at this place. It's just incredible. I've had this channel for nearly a year now, and it occurred to me that I've never really introduced myself. So hi, I'm Cheyenne, one of those kids whose parents always told them to get down from there. Clearly I never listened. And I wanted to make this video to share my story, to help somebody like me who, felt trapped by their job, who felt unsatisfied by doing the right thing. Work, school, exist until retirement, taking the safe option because that's what everybody else expected from you. If any of that speaks to you, then keep watching, and welcome to Thrillsandfollies. Growing up, I got used to moving around, living in different places, moving from the UK to Greece, different parts of the area, back to the UK, back to Greece, and changing 13 schools in the process. So I generally felt uncomfortable the longer I spent in one place. The more comforts I had, the more bored and uncomfortable I felt. And that fueled a drive in me to explore, to create, to get out of the house, to use my imagination with the things and the environment that was around me in order to satisfy that curiosity. This led my friends and I to venture away from our TVs and to make our own stories, making videos for school projects or for our own fun, exploring the mountains around us and going on adventures. Whenever I would tell my dad I'm bored, he would say, "Good, now do something about it." I'm sure you can see why I brought you here. But this video is different from my usual. Adventure locations around the world, that's the theme. But none of it would have happened if it wasn't for something that happened to me a few years ago. It changed my entire outlook on life. As long as I can remember, I had a passion for making videos, for doing silly things or telling a story. But life goes on, adulthood creeps in, and all of a sudden, priorities change. So I moved back to the UK. I got a job and I fell into the grind. I brought in a paycheck and found a routine, but I never let go of my distaste for comfort zones. I often did the opposite of what others would do, just to be different, to be unusual, because that's where you find unique moments, meeting people or situations you wouldn't expect because you only expect what you already know. But I could feel myself slipping. If I wanted a comfortable standard of living, I needed to buy things, a smarter phone, a useful car, a subscription to this and that, and all of these things paid for by a job I didn't enjoy, that no one around me enjoyed. And yet, none of those things made me any happier. It just made existing that little bit easier. If any of this sounds familiar to you, then you are where I was 2 years ago. And I knew that if I didn't want this to become my life, I needed to find a way to plant myself where I could grow the most. So I made a decision early on to sacrifice my 20s and use them as a self-investment period. I studied ways to improve my passions. I didn't waste money on expensive things or hobbies like many my age were doing. It was lonely, but my goal was clear. By the time I'm 30, I would be free from the rat race. You only have one chance of being the age you are tomorrow, but you have no more chances of being the age you were yesterday. At this point in my life, I felt like things were going well. My plan was working. I was on track to becoming the free man I wanted to be. And then I watched the video that changed my life. It was a TED Talk by Dino Ambrosi. I'll leave the link below, you should definitely check it out. His talk was about social media, but he used a graphic to explain the amount of time the average adult spends doing things like work, sleep, chores, etc. And at the end, what is actually left as free time. And it wasn't a lot. This visualization of time put me face to face with how finite my time actually is. That as a young man, I might think that I've got all the time in the world, but actually, I don't. None of us do. And even though it's a bit of a scary thought, it was the kick in the butt that I needed. So instead of bringing me down, I used it as motivation. I didn't want to be that guy that spends his life preparing for retirement, waiting to step back into life at old age, wasting my time not doing what I love or what makes me happy, having my days at work blend into one boring pile of useless memories, watching my youth be consumed by something unimportant to me and making the mistake of thinking there will always be more time. I knew now that I needed to seize what time I had left and throw myself into my passion, into what made me feel alive. So I quit my job, I chased after the love of my life, and I began work on my next adventure. A good friend told me recently that there's only 2 people in the world whose opinion you need to listen to the most, and you need to ask them questions. The first one is your little self. Is your younger version of you proud of the person you've become? And the second, of course, is your older self. On their deathbed, do you think that they would be proud of the life that you've lived? And that's where this YouTube channel comes in. You see, ever since I was a kid, I enjoyed adventure activities, extreme sports, you know, throwing myself off things, showing off in front of my friends, stupid kid things. But now that I'm an adult, not much has changed.
Early on, my passion was to become a stuntman, throw myself from high things and get paid for it. So I took courses and worked as an extra. I followed that passion because it made me happy.
Also, free food. Free food is good. And although I never became a stuntman, I have no regrets. Because following the training, I got my PADI Dive Master, I got my mountain leadership qualification, I learned how to rock climb, learned how to skydive, got my skydiving license. I did all of these crazy things, but more importantly, I pursued something that made me feel alive again.
You might know exactly what you want to do to make your life as happy and as fulfilled as can be. Or you might not, it doesn't matter. Make that move anyway, because no path on that journey is wasted if you learn something from it. No time is wasted if it becomes a memory you hold on to. And no connection is wasted if it's with the people who make you feel like you're living.
So my stuntman journey didn't pan out, but it led me to this. Why compete for crazy experiences when I can just do them myself? So I threw myself into it and off of things, because this is where I find myself living.
All of this works for me because this is who I am. I'm not saying quit everything now. Those investments I made paid off and are enough to sustain me whilst my channel is still young. But what I am saying, what I think is important, is that we all strive to live rather than exist.
I know it's scary, but something I learned on my stuntman journey is this. Don't allow fear to mutate into excuses, because if you do, you'll never go anywhere.
So find that thing that makes you feel alive, so your limited time on this planet is not being wasted for someone else and instead is working for your own mental health, your own joys from life, whatever that may be. For me, it was an adventure travel channel. For you, it could be anything. Find that thing you're passionate about and let it take you to new places.
Not everything will work out, but that's okay. You'll learn new things from every journey you take. I used to have a board game company. We sold all around the world. It went well, but we didn't make enough money, so we had to close it. It is what it is, but I learned logistics from that. I learned how to email people, all of that business boring stuff, but I learned how to do it. During the pandemic, I wrote 6 books just because I was bored. That taught me storytelling and structure and all of that other stuff. No matter what path you take, as long as you're learning something from it, you'll be fine. Don't make excuses of why not to do things. Instead, find reasons why you should. If I can leave you with one thing, let it be this. Instead of trying to be that person who's competing for the flashiest car on the street or the biggest house on the street, instead try and be that person who at the end of their life, who's run out of time, can look back and say, I've lived the happiest, most satisfying life I possibly could.
That was insane.
Anyway, hello everybody, whoever sees it.
And now I've run out of time. The sun's gone down. But if you've made it this far in the video, then thank you very much. And I hope this video has inspired you in some way to follow your own dreams, be it jumping out of a plane or learning how to play a guitar, whatever works for you. But if you've liked the video, please like and subscribe, tell a friend, shout out in the street, whatever works. It all goes a long way to helping me bring you more videos. And thank you very much. See you in the next one.